Hello friends, today we will see a import process. How do we do the import and how do we calculate the basic custom duty and all the import duties here. So whenever we have to do the import, there are certain documents are required. So what are these documents? Import export code, which is provided by the Ministry of Commerce and Trade and issued by the DG of Foreign Trades. Second is the AD code, authorized dealer code issued by the bank, GST number and the PAN card. Now after that, what is the process of import? First is an internal process. First of all, the need is recognized by the user. Then indent is raised by the user for the required item. Now the request for the quotation from the global supplier, and basically once the indent is raised, we send our requirement to the global supplier and discussion is done with the user about the technical details. Now once the our global supplier provides the quotation, we check the HSN code of the material and what is the HSN code present in our SAP system with respect to material code. So both these HSN code must be the same. Now we do the negotiation with the supplier in terms of the rate, payment terms, delivery, warranty and the services. We make the purchase order and sending to the supplier. Now the order acceptance from the supplier, which includes the delivery date. Now the supplier also provides a performa invoice. With the help of this performa invoice and our purchase order, we proceed the payment from the account section, and the time for the payment depends on the 1 week or 10 days, depend on the country, and basically it's an import payment, so it takes the time. Now once the payment get done, the payment acknowledgement from the account section we receive. Now there is an external process. We share the payment detail with a global supplier, and once the material gets ready, the supplier informs us on the mail. Now we take the freight rates from our CHA based on the weight, dimension, country of origin and the addresses. Now the rates from basically the CHA consist of your ex work charges, air freight, DO, other charges. We compare the rate of a two or more CHA and award the consignment to one of the reliable CHA. Now we do the coordination with CHA and supplier for the material pickup. This step is initiated by us over the mail. Now the CHA arrange the communication with the supplier and the counterpart in his or her country, basically the supplier's country. Now they confirm the date when the material will be picked up. All these details are carrying on over the mail so that everything is transparent and traceable. Now we will see that the documents are required for the commercial verification. That is a commercial documents required by the us from our customer, or our basically the documents required from our supplier. Now what are these documents? Basically first is the commercial invoice, second packing list, third is a safety certificate or a test report of item based on the category. For example, if we are buying say a hydraulic pump from the Germany or a China, then it must include its material of construction, whether it is hazardous or not. Or say electronic items, say we are buying a sensor thyristor from the Germany or China, then it includes all its detail. Now further, the certificate of origin is also required for the material, which shows the country in which the material has been manufactured. Now the CHA provide us the airway bill number, that consists of basically consignee name, consigner name, address, contact detail, weight and dimensions. So all these details are there. Once we get the airway bill number, we check our details, and this airway bill number can be easily traceable over the website of your DHL, FedEx, depend on our basically the CHA's pickupping source. Now the CHA provide the freight certificate to us, which consists of airway bill number and the freight value. Now the CHA inform us when the shipment is likely to be picked up from that country, and basically this when the shipment is likely to be come in the country. So all these details are over the mail. Now we see that CHA provide the checklist once the shipment is going to be arrive in a country. Prior to that, the CHA provides us a checklist, which is called as a home consumption bill of entry, or we can say that the provisional bill of entry before the arrival of the shipment, or checklist. Now what is provisional bill of entry? So basically the provisional bill of entry consists of invoice number, date, consignee name, consigner name, weight, dimension, value of the order, HSN code, freight value, insurance, miscellaneous charge, and total accessible values. After that, it also includes the basic custom duty, social welfare charges, GST, and a total custom duty. We can see that. Now our account team check these details and provide the approval for filling the bill of entry. They check the HSN code, dimensions, and each and everything. Now, once the bill of entry files in the custom, basically the custom once it gets filed in the custom, the bill of entry number gets generated, and bill of entry that we should use for our purpose should be the home consumption for getting the return on the GST advantage. Now the bill of entry, once the bill of entry copy is received from your custom house, we submit basically this digital copy, e-sign mode copy, to our account section, and account make the payment through the IceGate portal. Now the IceGate receipt is shared with our CHA, and material gets clear from the custom. So there is a certain amount of period within which this process has to be completed, otherwise there will be a provision of penalty. Now we generate the e-way bill number from the custom house to transporter office or our premises, depend on the size of the shipment. If the shipment is larger enough, then from the custom house to the transporter office we generate the e-way bill A part, and after that B parts. If the smaller one, then the e-way bill is generated directly from the custom house to our premises or our factory or of company. Now we can see that once we receive the shipment, we do the gate entry, make the GRN, MRN, and accrual from the ledger. Now what calculation we do? Now we are having the invoice, freight value, insurance, miscellaneous charges. Now there is important thing called as accessible value, which is a sum of all these four values, as we can see. Now we are having the basic custom duty, which is 7.5% of the accessible value, social welfare charges, which is your 10% of basic custom duty, and GST, which is a sum of accessible value, basic custom duty, and social welfare charges, and 80% of it, and total duty is a summation of BCD, social welfare charges, and GST. Now we can see a practical calculation. Now here we can see that the invoice value is 4991 euro. Here the freight value is 61, and you can see that the insurance, which is your 1.12%, which is a sum of your invoice value plus miscellaneous charge, and it's 1.12%. Now that comes to be the 57%. Now the total value, which is your sum of these invoice, freight, insurance plus miscellaneous, that is your 5211.89. Now we multiply with our 90, then we get the this much amount of value. Now we talk about the basic custom duty. Basic custom duty is a 7.5% of accessible value. So here we can see that the 7.5% of this much value here comes to the 35,000. Now we are having the social welfare charges, which is your 10% of basic custom duty. So here this much amount of this. Now GST, summation of accessible value, basic custom duty, and a social welfare charges, this total value, and 18% of this, it is your 92,000, and total duty is basically the sum of BCD, social welfare charges, and GST. So here do we do the calculation for the basic custom duty calculation, social welfare charges, GST, and total duty calculation. Thank you for watching.